Now, Mr. Solicitor, what you have to...
Yes, on the question of your Lordship's first question, when the elections can be held. Well, the central government response is, my Lord, the central government is ready for elections at any time now. But till date, but updating of the voters list was going on, my Lord, which is substantially over, my Lord. Some part is remaining that election commission is doing. But we are, I'm sorry.
Yes.
But when would be the call taken by the State Election Commission and, of course, my Lord, Union Election Commission together. But there are 3 elections which are due.
Yes.
Lord, for the first time, the 3-tier Panchayat Raj system is introduced after 2019. So the first election will be that of Panchayats. District Development Council elections have already taken place. But Panchayat institutions, that is for the rural areas, your Lordships are aware, under Chapter 9 and Chapter 9A of the Constitution.
Yes.
Lord, your Lordships, I informed your Lordships that the Leh part elections are over. Kargil for the Hill Development Council election is at the end of this month. The process is on, and the election is, I think, 2012 this month, 2023.
For Kargil also you call it the Hill Development Council.
Hill Development Council.
For both you call it?
For both Kargil and Leh. These are the only 2 parts in Ladakh UT. Lord, this is the position as on today. And the second election would be municipality elections. And the third would be legislative assembly elections. It's UT with legislature, my Lord. Your Lordships were taken through that, my Lord, except 2 subjects, law and order and police. Look, this is based upon the figures which we have. The terrorist initiated instances are reduced by 45.2%. I am comparing 2018 situation with 2023 situation.
Nothing to do.
But infiltration, which was a very major problem in Jammu and Kashmir, reduced by 90.2%, 90. In law and order events, substantially the stone pelting and other events reduced by 97.2%. These are all figures relevant for the purpose of decision.
Minister, this is not for our purposes really relevant. The only
for the purpose of when to hold the election. As on date, this is the position. That's what I am pointing out, my Lord. And these are, everything is on, my Lord, affidavit. I am not. And security persons casualty is, my Lord, reduced by 65.9%. These are the factors, my Lord, which agencies would take into consideration. But fortunately, affected the elections most were stone pelting incidents and regular call of bandh or hartals, my Lord, means hospitals, schools, every institution, my Lord, where a common man is concerned. Lord, from 2018, In 2018, the stone pelting was 1767. It is nil now. Not just because of effective policing or security personnel, but because of various steps, like gainfully employing the youth, etc. They were misled by the secessionist forces, by the forces outside the country, etc. And organized bandhs, which were in 2852 instances, organized bandh, call of bandh by secessionist forces. Nil.
How many? How many?
In 18, they were 52. Now, it is nil. Now, Lord, so far as statehood is concerned, Lord, I have already made a statement before your lordships, but that apart, the statement of the Honorable Home Minister on the floor of the House, that UT is a temporary phenomenon. We are dealing with an extremely extraordinary situation. The state will have to be infused with several things so that it becomes a state, so to say. Lord, those actions, my Lord, are initiated, and Lord, I may give some, my Lord, instances how it is progressing, my Lord, to become a state, because I am unable to give, my Lord, exact.
You you can wrap up in about 2 minutes now. You can tell us.
I'll just, my Lord, give me 2 minutes. Your Lordship did not write. I'll place it on record. Lord, for the purpose of ensuring that the UT becomes complete state, my Lord, as it should have been like any other states, the central sector scheme investment is 28,400 crore. The investment proposals from other than central schemes is 78,000 crores. And till date, the actual investment made is 2,153 crores. Your Lordship did not write. I'll write it down and, my Lord, and give it to your Lordships. Lord, several initiatives have taken place, and as a result of which the transparency, Lord, has shown us that the projects have risen from, and these are all, my Lord, statements on affidavit I have made, 9,229 in 2018, and now in 2023, it is 92,560. More and more people are participating in e-tendering and several e-initiatives, my Lord. And therefore, my Lord, that is also giving a boost, and the youth is gainfully employed. My Lord, the peace doesn't come merely by police action. There are several schemes which are introduced, several beneficial projects which are introduced. I'm just giving a bird's eye view, my Lord. And out of 53 projects under the Prime Minister Development Package, worth 58,477 crores, out of 53, 32 are completed. This is how progressively, my Lord, we are proceeding to make it a complete state. But I am unable to give, my Lord, my instructions are the exact time period right now about the complete statehood, while saying that union territory status is a temporary status because of the peculiar circumstances the state had passed through with repeated and consistent disturbances of decades. It might take some time, and we have shown, my Lord, the progress also. It was heartening for me also to note that only in 2022, January 22 to December 22, 1.88 crores tourists visited. The Lordships are aware, the main industry so far was tourism in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, my Lord, industries are coming. And till date in 2023, 1 crore tourists. It gives employment, it generates employment in various sectors. My Lord, one, there is a tourism boom. So these are the steps which are being taken by the central government, which can be taken only if there is a union territory. And I have shown the Reorganization Act. It is having all trappings of the state. But the election, the government is ready. It is for the Election Commission of India and Election Commission of the state to take the call. Out of 3, which election to take place first and how. The updating of the voters list is complete. Some part is missing, but it is yet to be over. It's in the process. It would be over, my Lord, in a month or so, my lord. That's what I'm told. Thereafter, my lord, they will take a call considering the overall situation.
Look, I just want to know whether your lordships are taking into account these facts, because whether that's extremely relevant from our point of view. Because if your lordships had said earlier that subsequent facts will not be taken into account, we are dealing with the law, we are dealing with these facts.
Mr. Sibal, these facts on what they have said would have possibly no bearing on the constitutional issue which has been argued.
But even otherwise,
But-
because we have to counter those facts, Mullah.
We had asked them a question on the roadmap for holding an election.
That's fine, Mullah.
That's what they have responded.
But Mullah,
That's what, my lord, in my argument on merit.
But our decision on the constitutional issue has to be on constitutional.
but Mullah, these facts will go into the mind of the court because they are trying to show as to how this enormous change has taken place for the benefit of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. If you have 5,000 people under house arrest and 144 throughout the state, there can be no band. So, Mullah, let's not, my request to your lordships is, please don't enter into this arena, because we will have to counter it with all kinds of facts, Mullah, which I don't think is necessary for this court.
The nature of the development work which the government says has taken place post August 2019, this may not be of relevance to your constitutional challenge. And therefore, when they respond to the constitutional challenge, that has to be dealt with independent.
I didn't rely upon it while
But
answering on
these
merit.
facts, if they come into your lordship's part of the record, then that has.
I think, Mr. Sibal, what the solicitor, to be fair to the solicitor, what the solicitor was saying is that the roadmap to full statehood would take a little time.
That's obvious.
Right now, that they are the development. There his submission is that right now development work is taking place. Some stability has to be brought about. This is not a permanent arrangement, namely the UT status. They envisage that it will be a movement from UT to statehood again. We can't give you a fixed point of time when we will restore statehood, but they have told us the process which they are following on the path to.
I have no objection.
That-
That statement, I have no objection.
And that's how we read it.
Yes,
actually.
but if any other fact that you bring to your lordship's notice has no bearing, because I'll have to count.
Mr. Solicitor, Mr. Attorney, we take it that what you said, Solicitor, a short while back, is along the lines what we said.
Yes, yes,
That
but
this is-
answer the election and
The roadmap to
statehood
full-
query, not as a
Correct.
justification.
I have no problems to that.
Mr.
Mullah.
Sibal also fairly says that he has no difficulty about that.
But
During my
he
arguments
says
on
that
merits,
this
I
has
never
happened.
relied upon.
This cannot be an answer to the constitutional challenge.
But even otherwise, it should
I
not
also,
speak
Mullah,
into your
didn't,
lordship's mind,
I-
Mullah, that these are great things that are happening, Mullah, because today, the kind of drugs that are happening with the youth in Jammu Kashmir is unbelievable. But I don't want to enter into that controversy.
Can I put it like this?
The
Neither,
unemployment rate is enormous.
Mr. Sibal, these are matters on which there can be and should be in a democracy policy differences,
That's right.
but that can't affect the constitutional
Absolutely.
answer to a constitutional
Therefore,
challenge.
once you start placing these facts and Mullah, your lordship.
But therefore, we place those facts which he mentioned in the perspective of the roadmap to statehood. That's all, and nothing on.
This is
on
not
the-
a justification.
This is not a justification. It cannot be from our perspective also to the answer to the constitutional challenge. We'll have to address the constitutional
So your
challenge. on
lordship will allow me to
constitutional
face some counter facts to that?
may
it's
I put
not
it like this?
necessary.
Well, I had intervened that stage also when you were saying, only for this reason that we wanted in a conspectus to understand when they look to a restoration of statehood.
No
To
problem.
which they made a statement that
That's no issue, Mullah. They say that will take some time. Your lordships will decide on that issue, Mullah.
That's confined to our answer, our question to Mr.
But
Solicitor.
Band
We are very
will
clear
reduce
on
to
this.
zero, band will
Neither-
reduce to
but-
zero, all
but if you
that,
don't
Mullah,
mind.
with respect, I say, your lordship should not even, those facts are not relevant for the purposes of your lordship's decision is all that I
And
say.
therefore, we had not taken that additional
Right.
affidavit which was sought to be filed at the inception of the record. And I don't think there has been any change in that.
Keep you.
provision.
I think it's better understood like this. Neither are these statements nor their refutation, if need be, will enter into the question of determining the constitutional validity.
Correct.
So therefore, paraphrase it like that.
Yeah.
We don't want to put it like
And
that.
on that
Kindly
aspect,
see.
I also
on
didn't
that,
rely.
on that,
Kindly
Mr.
see.
Sibal, Mr.
It's for an
Attorney and
entirely
Mr.
different
Solicitor,
purpose.
I think there is a broad-based understanding on both sides that the constitutional challenge has to be answered on.
But
During my assistance on merits, I never relied upon
The
this.
problem is the following, these are televised, all this is being televised and all of this being recorded. So Mullah, these facts come on the record, they are part of the public space. and people feel what a great thing has been done by the government. Well, this creates a problem. Well, that's why I.
What's why progress never creates problem.
I'm sorry.
Lack
Please
of
allow me.
offenses
All right,
do
Mr.
not
Sibal, we
create
get the
problem.
point. We got your point. I think we have clarified it.
Yes.
That the constitutional challenge will be dealt with by the Supreme Court on constitutional grounds.
That's right. None of this should enter into the.
And they have not argued equity in defense to your constitutional
That's all.
challenge.
That's all, Manu, that's all.
Yes.
I suppose these statements are otherwise in the public domain. In elections, will
Not
be
in the public
Mr.
domain.
and therefore,
Mr. Attorney,
public
there's a
will
lot of-
consume it.
Mr. Attorney General, you're meeting the constitutional challenge on constitutional argument. We must address this matter like any other constitutional matter as a
That's right. In the
constitutional issue
public
which we have to
domain,
confront.
There's a lot of facts.
But when I answer the question of election and the statehood, these figures will go into our
So
decision.
that you may, that's not part of the public
And
space.
that
You
Mr.
can-
Sibal has also clarified, there can't be any.
That's
objection.
internal.
We needn't labor this issue, we are all now clear on,
Yes, yes.
on conceptual grounds. Mr. Attorney, now we'll hear you.
Please, Your Lordship. And one is reminded of Dworkin's very deep engagement on the hard cases and not one single.
Only
Yes,
one
yes, yes.
interruption, Varad, on the lighter side. My learned friend said that there are some people who are under house arrest and therefore there is no one word. But that means the right people are in the house arrest.
5,000 people. Let's not make
Isn't it there?
let's make a mockery of democracy.
People are under house arrest.
5,000 people were under house arrest at that time. 144 was throughout the state. This court, Manadina judgment has recognized that. Well, the internet was shut down and then they are saying there were no bandhs. Why? How can there be bandhs when people can't even go to hospital? People could not go to hospital because of the bandhs. They died.
I wish,
A single.
Let's not go into all this.
Mr.
I
Sibal.
wish we don't enter into
One
this
second.
dialogue.
Mr. Attorney,
I-
Mr. Sibal, we have, right from the inception of the hearing, we have heard this matter in a sense of dispassionateness,
Absolutely.
the sense of objectivity which must govern an answer to a constitutional challenge. We request both sides. Let's maintain it at that level.
Absolutely.
Because, yes.